Sanders Rehabilitation Center, and the National Hotline for 24-Hour Crisis. Find someone that you can trust to talk to about your feelings and get the support and help that is needed. I am Inspector Mikal Pinder, reassuring you that your mental health matters. You are not alone. Get the help that is needed today.
During a storm, your safety is priority number one. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis.
And I'm Matthew Martin Burr.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight. They're coming your way next.
This 11 o'clock, a checkup on schools tonight as education officials hit the ground touring a number of schools, ensuring they are ready on day one of the new school year. 100 days checkup, the Davis administration is marking a milestone. And tonight's Women in Sports Wednesday is a real knockout. Michelle Butler takes us in the ring with boxer Samantha Arnay. Those stories plus more this late night, Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Good evening and welcome. We start the broadcast tonight with the push to get the nation's schools ready for the new academic year, now in its final stretch, with government officials today taking stock of the work on the ground. Our Leah Cooper takes us inside efforts to get classrooms ready for students and teachers.
With just 1 week to go before public schools across the country start a new academic year, the Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Chester Cooper, confirms 85% of school repairs are now complete.
Overall budget is in the region of $20 million for school repairs. We develop scopes at the beginning of the year. The principals make a list of all of the things they wish to be done. That goes onward to our maintenance team, who refine those scopes, and then we send them out to contractors.
Here in the capital, 49 schools are undergoing repairs, but Minister Cooper assures the government is also trying to change the way those repairs are handled, with maintenance planned throughout the school year, rather than waiting until the 11th hour before classes resume. And the work, he says, is largely routine.
These are generally minor repairs, tiling, cabinet work, painting, maybe a leak here and there in the roof, some ceiling repairs, air conditioning in some schools with plexiglass to make the classrooms a little bit more comfortable. But generally what we are seeing here are not heavy capital works.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis joined the tour Wednesday, getting a first-hand look at the progress for himself.
I'm also delighted to know that works are as far advanced as they are, and that all works for what I call school repairs will be completed in time to ensure that our students have a comfortable place to learn and teachers have a comfortable place from which to teach.
The government is confident contractors can deliver on completing these school repairs in adequate time. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Leah, more than 100 new Bahamian teachers have been hired after government launched its aggressive push to address that more than 300 teachers shortfall in the public school system. The Ministry of Education's plan to hire Ghanaian teachers, as much as 300, according to that country's foreign minister, sparked an uproar, with education officials denying it was ever the intent to hire that sum, stressing the intent to recruit more Bahamians from Ghana as well as other countries. Minister of Education, Science and Technology Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, giving an update on the recruitment process so far.
This is a lengthy process of vetting through Interpol and the Royal Bahamas Police Force. So I don't have a specific number yet on the foreign teachers, but I know that we have a significant batch going on to the Public Service Ministry today, and we sent some last week as well. But over the course of the term, we hope that we will be able to bridge fully the shortfall. In the meantime, our director and executive team are putting in place strategies to ensure that every child get the attention that they deserve as best as we can possibly deliver.
Still on the education front tonight, as a possible storm is brewing, the negotiation team has run its course, and the Bahamas Union of Teachers president says it is time for the Minister of Finance to come on board to move stalled negotiations forward. This, as the union has already put its members on alert for possible industrial action that the union president says can come in many forms. Cleopatra Murphy reports.
Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson is throwing down the gauntlet after hitting an impasse with government negotiators over the union's industrial agreement at the last meeting Thursday. With government's failure to present a new salary proposal a key factor for the stalled progress, the union president is adamant she will not just accept what is being offered simply because the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union has signed an agreement. Wilson suggests that union could be indebted to government for allegedly giving the body registration against the law.
I'm not indebted to any government, any politician, any minister of labor. We have that matter that's a live matter in the Supreme Court. The Bahamas Union of Teachers is 79 years old and we bend to no man. We have a registration. We have our good standing certificate, and we are going to negotiate the package that our members have voted for us to negotiate.
Wilson says government must decide its next course of action, stressing the BUT's membership is 3 times that of BECAWU's. She feels government is not negotiating in good faith, suggesting they shift tactics.
They are presenting a letter to us that is addressed to Bernard Evans, the chief consultant, signed by Financial Secretary Simon Wilson, and saying, this is what the government's offered and that's it. That's not negotiation. They've not presented any rationale.
The BUT president says the union has proposed a 20% salary increase for teachers over 3 years, a sum she sees as reasonable. As for her next move,
I'm going to prepare, actually today, a document, and I'm going to write it as succinctly and as clearly as I can for the government to understand what it is that we are proposing.
Asked by ZNS News about the stalled negotiations on Monday, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Chester Cooper, declared negotiations are not effectively conducted in the media.
I want to be respectful to the people who are leading these negotiations on both sides. Ultimately, I am confident that we want the same thing.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Earlier this week, during his nationally televised address, Prime Minister Davis gave an assessment of the current state of Bahamas Power and Light, and he also detailed plans already in motion to bring the utility service and equipment into the modern era. Much of BPL's equipment, Mr. Davis says, is archaic, its challenges complex, and its turnaround long overdue. As he told the nation, the buck stops with him, and there will be no managing this crisis. Instead, he's determined, he says, to fix it.
The system we inherited was not designed for the country we have become. Some of the equipment and cables were installed and laid down pre-independence, and a lot of it is more than a generation old. Every government sense has added to it.
The Prime Minister also outlining steps in BPL's energy reform.
BPL will continue restoring dependable generation while moving from rented temporary units to permanent efficient capacity. Critical overhauls must be completed. Maintenance must be planned from reliable asset data. BPL must integrate and expand battery storage systems, and rental generation must be phased out only when replacement capacity is tested and ready. BGC must complete and test the foundational grid work. The new substations must be commissioned. The transmission loop, switching capacity, protection systems, and control technology must be completed. Weak feeders must be rebuilt, and grid readiness work must keep pace with new solar and generation projects.
Well, Opposition Leader Michael Pintard responding to the Prime Minister's national address, the state of the country's energy sector. In his speech, Prime Minister Davis reiterated that BPL has been in a crisis state for years. He said temporary patching measures are no longer working, which he attributed to the continued power outages being experienced all across the country. The Prime Minister also, during that address, highlighted measures underway to modernize the energy sector, and he called on the public to trust his energy reform plan. Well, in response, Mr. Pintard is accusing the Prime Minister of shifting blame for the crisis at BPL, adding that the government has responsibility for the management of that utility company.
The Prime Minister came before the nation and told us, once again, that the buck stops with him. But after 5 years as Prime Minister, and more than 10 years, in total, close to 14 years, where he has had some direct responsibility for BPL, either as Prime Minister or Deputy Prime Minister, if the buck truly stops with him, so does the responsibility for the mess that BPL is in.
The opposition leader is also claiming that the dispute about excessive overtime at BPL is just a distraction.
When you're out of ideas, you grab at anything to keep the attention of those things that matter most to the people. Jobs, better wages, consistent energy, improvement in cost of living. These are things that people want. The Prime Minister told us that the buck stops with him. If that statement is to mean anything, then accountability cannot stop with a speech. Accountability requires consequences. Accountability requires truthfulness. It requires leadership.
Tonight, tensions are rising at Bahamas Power and Light following the 5-day suspension with pay of Bahamas Electrical Workers Union Senior Shop Steward Wellington Porter. Porter was suspended Tuesday as BPL investigates allegations of gross misconduct. While acknowledging the suspension is permitted under its industrial agreement, the union says it is concerned about the timing and circumstances. The BEWU claims the development could distract from a report filed by Union President Kyle Wilson involving an alleged attempted bribe connected to his duties at BPL and with the union. The BEWU is calling for both matters to be investigated fairly and independently, insisting union officers and members must be able to participate without fear of retaliation. The union says it will respect the investigative process, but will not be intimidated. Well, there's still much more to get to this Wednesday evening. When we come back, the Progressive Liberal Party celebrating a milestone today. We have that and more. You are watching The Bahamas Tonight. Stay with us.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Summer never tasted so good.
Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal. 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza. Summer never tasted so good.
Well, we welcome you back, of course, to the broadcast. The Davis administration is marking 100 days in office following a sweeping victory at the polls in the May 12 general elections. That saw the Progressive Liberal Party secure 33 of 41 seats in a decisive victory over the Free National Movement, that party winning 8. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Chester Cooper, reflecting on this milestone.
Let me say that 100 days is a short time. It feels a lot longer than 100, quite frankly. We did hit the ground running. We've had our share of challenges. Each day we go to work 1 foot before the next, recognizing that the Bahamian people have given us an awesome opportunity. Where there are shortfalls, we seek to bring corrections to them.
Well, today, August 19th, also marks the 34th anniversary of the historic win by the Free National Movement in the 1992 general election. That year, the F&M securing 55% of the vote and winning 33 of the then 49 seats in the House of Assembly. Commemorating the moment, the party on Monday hosted a panel discussion at the University of the Bahamas. It was called Meet the Panelists, where it explored the events leading up to the 92 election and how that moment can be achieved in a new era. Former F&M Member of Parliament for the West, Grand Bahama, and Bimini, David Wallace, reflected on the achievements of the former administration.
For me, one of the greatest accomplishments of the Free National Movement was opening the airways. That's right. We gotta accept that, my brothers and sisters. Because of the opening of the airways, that was one of the first pieces of legislation that the Free National Movement took to the House of Assembly after the 1992 Government of the Sunshine. Right. That brought about the Tribune 100 Jam. That was the first radio station. Then we had Little Jones, 97, Love 97. Then more FM. And then Charles Carter. And then we put them in Eleuthera and Exuma and Freeport. We don't say the story of what the Bahamas were prior to 1992.
Current F&M Freetown Member of Parliament Lincoln Deal also adding his take on the core base of the party, saying that while the F&M of the past represented a specific kind of Bahamian, today's generation has matured and a new group is looking for a new kind of leadership.
In 1992, just to put it into perspective, the F&M didn't just win an election. They enabled a movement of people who believed in them, that believed that change was possible. The question is not how we recreate 1992, but how we find that same spirit in 2026 and foster that among young people, among our base, and among people nationally. I often hear people talk about the base of the F&M. A new generation has a different perspective because they're not holding on to that. And while it's important that we tell our story so that they can understand where we came from, we also have to cultivate a new vision to show them where we're going.
As Bahamian exporters grapple with the Trump administration's newly implemented 12.5% tariff Agriculture Minister, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, says the government continues to negotiate with the U.S. to possibly lower that percentage rate. This comes after Bahamas Ambassador to the U.S., Wendell Jones, wrote a letter last month asking U.S. trade representatives to specifically lower the tax for Bahamian exports of spiny lobster and stone crab fisheries.
There's been a lot of back and forth. There were over 2,100 meetings being held with over 60 countries involved. The Bahamas isn't affected by this alone, and I am able to say that Minister for Trade and Investment, Minister Fitzgerald, as well as Minister for Foreign Affairs, Minister Mitchell, and I'm also told that even as senior as the Prime Minister himself has had meetings with the American ambassador in that very same regard.
While all this is taking place, Minister Campbell adds that the ministry is meeting with the fishing community consistently.
And in the very near future, hopefully, as the schedule of the ambassador permits, we will also be seeking to have a meeting with him, ensure all the truth is said. Our projected platform as to the way forward to get us back, hopefully not just to the 10% that we were prior to the 24th of July, but perhaps even lower.
It is Wednesday, so that means our Women in Sports feature is coming up next. What else do we have in sports this late night? Let's find out from Amajal.
The Goodwill Games team returns home. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
So don't be profiling any party. Trust the leader in private lending for your personal loans. Oh, they like the path to financial freedom. One just for you. Come on. Sunshine financing for a sing-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, hey. When you need that money, come on vacation every. Don't be profiling in this party. What? I want that 000. I grin on there cause I got no money. You only hear me, eh? You better go by Sunshine Finance and ask them for the 000 promotion.
Go 000 with Sunshine Finance. 0 interest, 0 payments, and 0 service fees until 2027. 000. More savings, more freedom. Apply now.
Sunsea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's beef. One perfect balance. This isn't a heat you run from, you enjoy it. Bring the heat. Keep the cool with Wendy's new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger.
Welcome to your midweek sports check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. It was a celebratory welcome home for Bahamas Aquatics after the team returned to the capital on Wednesday evening after securing their 4th consecutive Goodwill Games swim title. Family and friends greeting them with a champion's welcome over at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center. Our Swanson Gibson Jr. was there and filed this report.
Dozens of supporters occupied the parking lot of the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center as Bahamas Aquatics returned home with over 100 medals at the 30th Goodwill Games. Also in attendance was the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Honorable Philip Davis, and the Minister of Youth and Sports, the Honorable Mario Boleg, celebrating the young athletes.
Three goals. Helsinki Mitchell and Nakari Cooper. I understand they took the 13 and 14, 50 backstroke on the same afternoon. Girls and boys in Trinidad's own pool.
To the parents
So we appreciate your support and giving the Federation, the coaching staff and the clubs, your kids, doing the hours that is necessary to harness their skill set and make them the swimmers they are today, to make sure that they not only represent themselves, but you as parents and also this nation as a country.
8 and under division swimmer Nia Ferguson broke records in the 50-meter freestyle and 100-meter individual medley events. She reflects on her experience.
I felt very happy. I felt very proud because I've never went to Goodwill before, and I was trying to secure a spot at Goodwill, and I was happy that I made it.
Bahamas Aquatics head coach Dwayne Davis Jr. adding his sentiment.
I'm very proud of the team. We went down to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad was a very, very hostile environment. It was loud. The team stood up strong. They were focused. They were resilient, and they were determined to come back with the 4 beat.
After dominating the Carifta and the Goodwill Games, the Bahamas looks to continue their success throughout the rest of the year. Reporting from the Betty Kelly Kenning Center, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr. Back to you guys in studio.
Thanks, Swanson. In soccer news, the Junkanoo boys back on the pitch for the Caribbean Football Union's Challenge Series over in the Dominican Republic, hoping to remain unblemished in the tournament. It would face off against Guyana this morning. The two teams would be locked in at 0 goals apiece for most of this one until the 65th minute. The Guyanese striker showing off his powerful left foot as this one would just scrape past the crossbar to give Guyana the 1-0 lead. Junkanoo boys hoping to find the equalizer, but they would be unsuccessful. After full time, Guyana walking away from this match with the 1-0 win. Next up for Team Bahamas, a rest day on Thursday before semi-final action kicks off on Friday. And it's Wednesday, which means a new Women in Sports feature, and this time our Michelle Butler catching up with a young boxer who speaks about her love for the sport.
For most 15-year-olds, the daily routine may look very different. But Samantha Arney, part of her day is spent in the boxing gym, working on her skills, building her confidence, and pushing herself to get better.
I feel more brave.
Her love for boxing started with a simple introduction to the sport, but it didn't take long for her to realize that boxing was something she wanted to take seriously.
When I was in grade 6, the principal told us that they was bringing in like new sports, boxing, every after school. So I wanted to join. I really didn't know I was gonna like it that much, but like as I go practice every day, I started to like it. And then we come to the gym, like coaches just pick us up and drop us to the gym, and that's when we start like practicing more.
While boxing can be physically demanding, she says there's something about the sport that keeps her coming back.
I just love boxing.
She spends time working on her speed, movement, technique, and endurance, with each drill designed to help her become a more complete boxer.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Consistency is key. She knows that improvement doesn't happen overnight. It comes from showing up, listening to her coaches, learning from every training session, and continuing to work even when things get difficult. At 15 years old, her story is still being written. But one thing is already clear, she's not afraid to put the work in. For Women in Sports Wednesday, I'm Michelle Butler.
Thanks, Michelle, and that's been your midweek sports check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Is taking a quick break, but don't worry, we'll be back Monday, August 24th, just in time for back to school. Fresh stories, big trends, more fun. What's trending back at 6 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
I ain't gonna lie, my outfit was popping last night.
I ain't gonna lie, man, I was fresh last night.
I was so fresh.
That music was busting last night, boy.
Play the party was live and the drinks was drinking.
Last night was a movie. We had a time last night, bro.
Last night was lit.
But none of that matters.
If somebody doesn't make it home, drive safe like you have somebody waiting at home for you. Because the party's only fun if everyone makes it home.
I'm Leon Lundy, Minister of Transport, and I approve this message.
And while Diane Dorset continues her holiday, Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean is filling in. He's here with a look at our late night forecast. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Carmel. We'll get you started in the tropics. And we have a tropical wave near Puerto Rico, and it's moving quite rapidly towards the west, closing in on Hispaniola, and that will eventually spread some of those showers and thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas tomorrow as that wave continues to move towards the west. And then we have this little troughing again near the northern Bahamas, and that too is firing up pockets of showers and thunderstorms in that neck of the woods. Temperatures around the islands, we have 86 in Marshall, Babaco, also in Greenville Key. Freeport at 89 degrees, 89 in the Berry Islands, Allenstown, Bimini, 86. 90 degrees in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, also in Harbour Island. Otterstown, Cat Island, 88. Black Point, Exuma at 89. Kemps, Space Andros, 89. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, well, we have in those showers and thunderstorms, a little cooler there at 84 degrees. 89 in Georgetown, Exuma. Rum Key and San Salvador, 88 degrees in Ragged Island, Clarence-Town, Long Island, Acklands and Betsy Bay, they're reporting 89 degrees, Matchitani, Nagba at 83, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 88 degrees. And your forecast tonight, clear to partly cloudy and very warm, that low temperature around 82 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny with a couple of thunderstorms developing in the afternoon with your high temperature getting up to 93 degrees and your heat index, that's going to be around 104 degrees tomorrow. And your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, you'll have to contend with those 90s right through the next 7 days with those muggy nighttime temperatures in place. Sky-wise, not too bad. We'll have 1 or 2 odd showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday, but lots of sunshine during the weekend. It wouldn't be until the middle of next week before we see some cloudy days with scattered showers and thunderstorms returning to the forecast.
Basil, and thank you for being with us this late night. That is our broadcast here this Wednesday evening. I'm Corval Pytham for Amo, Basil, and our entire team. You take care, be well, and remember, we will all be looking to see you again right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.